Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be walking you through how you can host a free Flask server on the AWS Lambda functions. And there are some caveats, but if you are making a website that you don't anticipate huge amounts of traffic going to, you can keep this on the always free tier. So it is a pretty awesome project in my opinion, and I'll show you guys every step along the way so you can do this and customize the Flask app however you'd like. So to get started, I'm logged into an AWS account right now, and the very first thing that I'm going to be doing is opening up my terminal on the Mac. And the reason why we need to open up the terminal is because our Flask app is going to need the Flask module, and we're also going to need another module called the serverless-wsgi module, and that's to allow the Flask app to handle the event-driven requests that go to the Lambda Function URL. So we have to have two dependencies. So we're going to be making two layers for our Lambda function. So I'll show you guys how we do that right now. And then we can actually make the Lambda function with the Flask code to handle a basic request when someone sends a GET request to our Lambda Function URL. So very first step here is going into our terminal. And I'm going to provide a repo so you guys can just copy paste these commands on your own time. But the very first command that I'm running here is to create a Python 3.12 virtual environment, and I'm going to be activating that. So you do want to make sure you have Python 3.12 already installed on your local computer. This could be a Mac or a Windows. And so right now I've activated that virtual environment. If I print my working directory, I'm in my root, but I want to go to my documents folder just so I can show you guys how to zip this file and then give it to AWS. So the very first step along this is going to be making that Flask layer for us. So I'm going to make a directory for Flask, and I'm going to tell pip to install that Flask module into it. So we're just going to run this command. It's going to go through the commands of actually downloading it. And then once we've done that, we're going to zip this file, because in order for us to give AWS Lambda the layer, we have to provide a zip file. And so now that we've done that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating another layer for the serverless WSGI layer. And it's going to, again, run that same pip command to download it. And we're going to go into that directory and then zip it up. And so now if I open up Finder on my Mac, what you can see is I have a Flask layer.zip, and I also have a serverless WSGI layer.zip right here. So now that I've got my layers, I'm going to go into my AWS console. I'm going to open up Lambda, and I'm going to, this is giving me the basic stuff, but I just want to, you're going to go to Lambda, you're going to go to functions. I right now have 0 functions. I'm going to go to layers. I have no layers. So we're going to create a layer, and I'm going to call this one Flask Pi 312 ARM64. That's because my Mac is running Apple Silicon, which is the ARM64 architecture. If you were doing this on a PC, it would be x86. So I try to be as descriptive as I can in the titles. I'm going to choose the file. So I'm going to select that Flask layer zip that we just made, and we're going to upload that. And then I'm going to say that this is compatible with ARM64. And if you were Windows, it'd be x86. And then compatible runtimes, I'm going to select Python 3.12. You could change this to whatever version of Python you feel like, but you do have to be consistent on the architecture and the runtime. So we're going to create this layer, so give it a moment to upload. All right, so we've now got a Flask layer, and I'm going to go back to layers, and I'm going to create another new layer. And this one, if we recall, the name was called serverless WSGI layer. So serverless WSGI, Pi 312, ARM64. I'm going to choose that file. We're going to select the ARM64 architecture, and Python 3.12 is our runtime. Create that. Okay, so now I've got my 2 layers added, and I might need to refresh this. So I've got my 2 layers. Now if I go back up to Lambda and I go to functions, I'm now going to create a function. And when I create this function, I'm going to author it from scratch, and I'm going to call this free Flask. And for my runtime, I'm going to select Python 3.12 because that's what we based everything on. Architecture, again, ARM64 because that's what my Mac has. Otherwise I get some compatibility issues when I try to import those layers. And then in addition, I'm going to make this Lambda function have a URL, so it's going to have a publicly accessible endpoint that it can be hit at. And it defaults to having IAM permissions. I'm going to select none here because if you want this to be a public service, you're going to have no permissions. And I'm just going to leave everything else as is. So we'll create the function. And now that our function's been created, you can see that we've got a URL for it, but I haven't put any code into it. So I have to go in here and they give you a little placeholder value. So I'm going to paste in my Lambda function. This is all going to be saved at the GitHub public repo that I provide. So again, copy paste all this stuff and then you can modify it to your heart's content. I'm going to deploy this code. And now that the code is deployed, I'm also going to scroll all the way down to the layers section and I'm going to click on add a layer. And I'm going to select the custom layer because we just created 2 custom layers. So I'm going to select that Python 312 ARM64, and then you select the version if it's the first time doing it. So I'm going to have 1 version. So you're going to click add. And then I also have to add that other layer. Otherwise you're going to get a module not found error when you try to run this thing. And you're going to also select the serverless-wsgi layer that we just created. And I have to specify that version as well. We're going to add it. And now that we've got our 2 layers added, we can handle these 2 imports that happen in our little Flask web app. And now, in theory, when I click on this function URL and we send a GET request, we are getting a response from our Flask web server. So that's pretty awesome. AWS is hosting this for us. And if you want to modify this, you can just say hello world, ! Whatever. I'm just going to save it, deploy the code, give it a moment to update the function. But now when I go back to this and I refresh it, you can see that we've now got a live Flask app that's being hosted on AWS Lambda's free tier. So with that being said, I do have a public GitHub repo that will go over this in more detail. But the key thing to note is you're allowed to have 1 million requests per month, 1 million invocations of this Lambda function per month for free. But if you go over that number, they start charging 20 cents per million additional invocations of that Lambda function. You're also charged on the duration that your Lambda function runs. So if you look at the logs, you can go to monitor, and under monitor, you can see how much time they bill for. So every time someone calls your Flask app, you are being billed, and it's how much memory your function uses. So if it's using 128 megabytes for 8 seconds, that's 1/8 of a gig for 1 second. For 8 seconds, that's 1 gigabyte second. So that's something that you do have to pay for if you go over the limit. If this isn't a high traffic thing and you just wanted a little website to play around with in Flask and have a public URL that stays under that free tier, you should be good. The only other caveat here is the outbound data transfer. So in AWS, you pay for stuff that goes outside of the AWS network. So if I was to use my phone and then query this website, the amount of data that's transferred is, at least in our example, very minimal. It's just some text. But if you started having pictures and videos and other types of large files, once you exceed 1 gigabyte in a given month, then you have to start paying. And currently the price is, I believe, 18 cents per gigabyte. But it varies, and you just want to keep track of that stuff. But you are allowed to have up to 1 gigabyte of egress data per month from this always free tier on the Lambda function. So with that, thank you all for watching. I will post the link to the GitHub repo so you guys can clone this, fork it, do whatever you like to it.